Hello.
So how many people normally are in class so can and they know when to start? About how many people?
About 21.
20.
About 20? Okay. Let's give them a few minutes to see how far we go. In terms of what is expected. My idea is that I want to see what you have. Then I can tell you, I want to fix your story. I want to fix whatever you have. I don't just want to give you something else. You will tend to memorize it. But I want us to go, left, right, what not to do, what to do, what not to say, what to say. So if we use that mindset, it will be very easy answering the other ones, I think,
So in other words, if like they ask you, tell me about yourself, we're not expected to, talk about the whole page and a half, right? Just like a little paragraph.
No, you are expected to speak for about 2.5 minutes, and that will be about the page and a half. That will get you through about a page and a half.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Yes, so we'll talk about the page and a half. So what are we going to put there? What do we want out? What's going to work? What's not going to work? How do we want to do it? That's the purpose of today's, because one of the things is you should understand is that this is the first question. And you know what they say about the first impression, right? You never have the second chance to create a first impression. Simply meaning that people judge you a lot. There's a lot of judgment from the first things you say. So that's why I want to make sure that it is crisp, perfect. You dot your I's and cut your T's. You don't want to say, I could do better. You want to actually just do better from the first go. And after that, you can start seeing how the other things flow.
So the tell me about yourself, is that like, does that come in, I guess, 100% of the interviews?
I think so, 99.9. You actually want to start talking in every interview. 99.9% of the interviews will start with tell me about yourself. That's how I will start every interview. It's being polite, giving you the chance to talk. But who is asking that question? Now it depends on what you're going to say. If a recruiter asks you that question, the answer is slightly different. If a technical person, a DBA, technical manager, something, or another DBA asks you that question, you're expecting a different answer. And of course, the hiring manager, that's the one that everybody wants to. When they ask you that question, they are expecting a different answer. So that's the way we want to approach it. Who is your audience? And when you answer the question the right way, you start having the feel, you start knowing who you're talking to. Because this interview process, it has, it goes from your resume just being paper. It will be attractive enough, guaranteeing you that. Then after that, we're going to go to, from the paper, resume, a recruiter picks that paper up and the recruiter starts asking you questions because they want to see if you're a good fit so they can present you in front of their client. And after the recruiter has got done, that one has done his job, then the recruiter will try to schedule what we call sometimes a technical interview. Those are all screens. The resume is a screen, the recruiter part is a screen. The technical part is the screen as well, trying to see. Again, they will not interview you alone. They want to showcase, want to do 3 of them, want to do 5 of them interview. See if we can sort through them and get a good candidate. So after he leaves the recruiter, it's scheduled for the technical interview. They will ask you again. The recruiter has asked you, tell me about yourself. Now they go to the technical people. Tell me about yourself. More likely there will be DBAs or sometimes not DBAs, but technical enough. They expect you a technical version. Then they go through the other technical, how would you do this? How would you do this? How did you do that? How did you blah, 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 what is, whatever. And the technical interview is finished. Then you usually it's, how do they call it? Then next goes to the hiring manager. The hiring manager will want to call you back. And the hiring manager will have his or her own questions. And you go through those ones too. Hiring manager will ask you, tell me about yourself. Oh, the hiring manager, you give the full version of tell me about yourself. Because he's at the verge of making a decision whether to get you in or not.
I have a quick question. Yes. Sorry. So is this scenario you're giving us, is this for all the IT jobs, or is this just for Oracle?
Almost all IT jobs.
Yeah.
Same process.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Question, Paul.
Yes, sir.
How many agencies do we have in total?
How many?
Agencies. Like...
It usually is 3. 3 is the standard, right? The recruiter, the technical interview, the hiring manager. Sometimes it is one interview, all will take place. The recruiter will screen you, but he will say, it will happen in this interview, which means that the technical, the hiring manager is technical enough. And the hiring manager will ask you technical questions. It can also be that the hiring manager is part of the interview. You know what I mean? So he's there. They're not saying, go, we'll finish it, or come back there. Hiring manager will do it right there. They'll finish and just call him in, or he will be part and parcel of the interview. Some managers are very technical. They know what it is, what is expected of you. So other managers, they are functional. And being functional managers, they just have to depend on what the technical people say about your skills, how good your skills are. So you will, in that case, you have to go through, just sit in one interview and they finish, and then he takes off. But the technical manager's line of questioning is different. I'm going to give you his line of questioning. All those questions, I'm going to give you 15 questions today. Question number one is tell me about yourself. I'll give you the 15 others so you can, we can talk through it and you can see where the manager's mindset is. It's good to prepare these answers, because if you don't know them and they ask you, you will mumble and mumble. But if you prepare them, you know exactly what you want to say. That's what gives the advantage of us preparing. I just don't believe that anything is just preparation. If you prepare, you are good. If you don't prepare, you will fumble. But note that at every step of this process, there's competition. So when the interview starts, note that sometimes you guys are going to be each other's competition. Two people in here will go for the same interview. And you just give you the best, what you can give. All right? And then you do what you best that you can do. And then we'll see from the other end. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to go through, I want to hear what some of you have prepared so far. and we are going to listen to it, and I'll give you a few criticisms and corrections, because why are we doing this? Because I want everybody to learn from everybody. Somebody will say something, I will say perfect. Somebody will say something, will say, somebody will say absolutely not. Don't say that during the interview, but you're going to learn. Then after this, I'll give you all the 15 questions, and I'll ask you to go and, to go home and write those answers. Please, if you take this exercise seriously, it is a difference between people who spend 3 weeks, 4 weeks across the street and they're already having jobs because they prepared this part. This is called interview. Nobody goes in there, nobody gives you an exam or gives you a computer to type this, and no, you must be able to talk. So this part is the getting the job part. You must be able to talk in order to get a job. So I want you to have this general sense of the interview process. Know that this is a screen, that is a screen, that is a screen, and this part is going to work. I have confidence. The fact that you have finished, RAC and so on, I have confidence in your technical abilities. Even as they say, you don't know where everything is, you don't know how to do everything, but at least you can follow steps and do things correctly. Because there are methods on how to do all of these things. But you must understand how the interview process works. Else you stay out here with all of this knowledge and you find that you're not getting in. Why are you not getting in? You're not convincing people that you know all of this thing. You need to convince them. There are people, they're human beings like you. Note that for 95% of the time, the environment is already created. The environment is already set up. And what are you doing? You are coming and wanting to try to get into their environment. And what they are doing is, are you technically fit to join the environment? Question. Are you, how do I call it, professionally fit to enter the environment? So you'll see from the questions that the the hiring manager is trying to ascertain where you belong. Do you belong in this team? Will you fit in this team? Will you bring trouble in this team? Are you going to be someone who will not be able to do the job that the team members are supposed to do? That's our job today. So, without much ado, I'm going to try to start listening to if anybody has something prepared. I told you last class that you should just write something down, whatever it is. We're going to start. I like to work from something. I don't like to work from nothing. So who wants to start?
I can start.
Well, okay, go ahead, Anita.
Okay, I don't have much though.
It's okay. Just present what you want to present. Like I said, we are still trying to build. You are telling me about yourself, right? So it's okay. Whatever you have, we're fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm Anita Tonge, and excuse my voice. I'm Anita Tonge, and I have about 5 years in experience with Oracle databases. I hold various certifications, which include OCA, AWS, and SQL fundamentals. I have worked on databases that were installed on 11G and 12C, mostly running on Windows, AIX, and Linux servers. I'm very comfortable with performing and managing backups. I can perform user manage and RMAN backups of full database, incremental, differential, and incremental cumulative to accommodate my company's service level agreement. I have also performed different types of recovery, such as full database, point-in-time recovery, and data file recovery for both critical and non-critical files. In addition to backups and recovery, I have also been part of major projects which include upgrading databases from 11G to 12C softwares. I have applied patches and also configured DataGuard for disaster recovery. That is all I have for now.
Okay, all right. So it is a start, all right? One of the things that I like is that you call yourself and then you talk about your number of years of experience. That's how this thing should go. And then you talk about any certifications, any degrees that you have. And when I say talk about a degree that you have, I mean a degree in anything. In anything. If you want to say what it is, if you have a bachelor's degree, I want to hear that you have a bachelor's degree. Even if you have the bachelor's degree in geography, it doesn't mean have anything to do with IT, but HR is very interested in people with degrees. So if you have a degree, please, if you have a degree in law, say it. And we're going to look for a way of seeing seeing how our degree in law can help us with our communication and all of those other things. So what I'm thinking, Anila, you left out a lot of strong skills that you could have put it. You did not tell us how good you were in communication and those kind of things. Do you understand? You did not tell us how if you have made a multitasker. Remember, I've always said, if you go to an interview and you come back without mentioning the word what? There's a word I told you.
Multitasking.
Multitasking.
No, I said they will say
Proactive.
proactive. Thank you. Jerry remembers it. You understand? You are seeing what you have left out, right? That's the purpose of this exercise. So you have done this, but now I'm going to give you additional words. And as you listen from everybody, but take all of this and add it with what you have. And then we're going to build the best story. But I want everybody to have tried. Try once, try things. Tell me things about you. Tell me what you have done. I mean, if you have the chance, we had a good exercise this morning. So I'm going to actually encourage you to listen to some of those, because someone said, I work in this department, I work in the HR department, I work very, very good, because we're coming from different backgrounds. And I don't want them to be a very steep, you just work as an HR manager and the next minute I am a DBA no. How was that transition? Because as part of those questions that I'm going to give you, there's a question that will say, how did you become a DBA? You understand? So there has to be some transition, especially sometimes, like I said, I want to get something in your past, maybe in your education, in your past, maybe in your work experience, which we can use to get the best of who you are right now. Am I making any sense? So give it, and we'll see how we can fix it. All right? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So another person. So I'll be talking just the same way I've talked about, to Anita. I'll talk to everybody else who will present. Then after that, I'll give you questions, and then we can start talking about the other questions. All right. Who's next? Who wants to present next?
I can present.
All right. Go ahead, Ronaldo.
Okay. So, my name is Ronaldo, and I own a bachelor's degree in computer science and a master's degree in computer engineering. Before being a DBA, I worked with development staff in defining what they needed in terms of data structure and data to fill the application development. And over there, my primary role was creating table structure creating table structures for them, which will support their development initiative. As an Oracle DBA, I manage more than 100 databases, varying from 200 gigabytes to 5 terabytes, and spread across multiple operating systems such as Linux, Solaris, and Windows. Residing on application servers such as Oracle and Postgres and SQL Server. I've mostly been using tools like Enterprise Manager, WinSCP, PuTTY, and SQL development to manage my database. During my 5 years as a DBA, I installed and configured 10G, 11G, and 12C Oracle software using the manual scripts and I also applied CPU and patches for security and bug fixes on the 11G software manually and using the OPatch utility. I upgraded database from 10G to 11G and also from 11G to 12C, either manually or using tools like TBUA, Datapom, and transportable table spaces. I've created and managed table spaces. I've also implemented Oracle database security through auditing, where I enabled standard, value-based, and fine-grade auditing and maintain audit trail. I perform backups and recovery using tools such as Alman, user-managed backups, and Enterprise Manager. And I also scheduled my backup using Crontab. I've cloned databases using scripts, and I've gathered statistics manually or using Enterprise Manager. I am a very proactive person. I pay attention to details, and I'm comfortable working as a team as well as by myself when needed. I'm a long-lasting troubleshooter, excellent in documentation, and I'm also a fast-learning person, willing to explore new environments and share whatever I know or did with whoever needed the most. That's all.
Okay. All right. The issue with this story that you just presented is that it sounds good because I have already approved that story before. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said originality. Go and give me an original, unscripted thing about you, and I can fix that. But if you give me a story like this one, which I've already approved before, there is nothing to fix there. The problem is that you are the only one who can answer that. So give me originality for me to fix. But if you give me a story that I have already approved for someone else, I'm saying maybe, then there's nothing to fix. So that's your choice. Go and start and want to write your own story? Oh, do you want me to approve somebody else's story for you? Then you will start trying to memorize it. So go ahead, Renala, what do you want to do?
What do I want to do?
Yes. Do you understand my question?
I definitely do.
Okay, good. So what do you want to do? Write your own story or try to memorize someone else's story?
No, I believe when you get a story and you know what you can do from that story, that's what you take, right?
Yes.
And that's definitely what I did.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
When I start finishing your sentences, I could wrap up any sentence because I've heard it before. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think you are not doing this to go and get a job. You are doing this to create yourself a situation where as you go further, you're going to be using that same story. I don't want that based off anybody. I want it all based off me. When I learn a new technology, I can add it there. If I think something is redundant, I can remove it, but it's my story. That's the opportunity that I'm trying to give everybody here to do what? To go and work with an original. Make an original one. I can fix it. Else, I don't have anything to fix on the story. But when we take story from someone, maybe it's to see how it goes, but it is never yours until you build yours.
Please, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so from her, tell me about herself. Is that what you're looking for? Like all those points that she mentioned, is that what you want?
Some will be some, but
Okay.
that will be the technical. Remember, I told you how many versions did I say we had? We had about 3, right? The version which will be a very high, superficial, at a very high level for the recruiter, because the recruiter does not understand what we say. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
But remember, tell me about yourself will also come when a DBA is interviewing you. Do you get that?
Yeah.
In that case, these things that she mentioned has to be, you must say it.
Okay, so question. So
Yes.
whatever from the one I just gave you, I know it's very short, but that will be the length I'll have to give to like a recruiter, right?
Even at the recruiter, no. Let me explain to you why yours, because remember I told you left things out like communication. A recruiter needs to know that you are good with communication, that you are good with multitasking, that you are a proactive DBA. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You did not say anything about performance tuning. The recruiter needs to hear performance tuning as the word, right?
Right.
But the DBA needs to go into details about performance tuning, right? You cannot leave that interview without talking about indexes and partitions. And you understand, giving the DBA examples which you are not going to give to the recruiter. When I want you to build a comprehensive one, then we will say this abbreviated one is for the recruiter. This middle part of it is for the DBA, but the entire thing is for the manager who has time to really listen to you. But the DBA wants to listen to you for about 2 minutes. But when you go into the manager, you want to take it to 2.5 minutes. You can push it a little bit, put in the technical skills. And sometimes if you read about that manager and find out that that manager has a technical background, because you're going to Google everybody that's going to interview you. You must at least know something about them. You understand what I mean? So if this person comes from a technical background, you can throw in some technical jargon. If not, you may just mention it superficially, but know that they are very interested in your soft, strong skills.
Okay. So you did mention that you already
Am I making
approved.
sense?
Yeah. So you mentioned that you already approved what she said, right? So that will be for the hiring manager, or would that be for the DBA?
No, that is a technical perspective.
So that will be for
If you notice, the technical perspective, yeah, it's for the DBA or for whoever is interviewing. The technical interview may come from, we say the recruiter interview, then the technical interview, then the hiring manager's interview.
Okay.
The technical could come from a DBA or could come from, some managers are very technical. They can drill you down. Again, I always speak from experience. You build your initial story and then just build them up. I want to see you in the story. If we come in here and the story is about performance tuning, this and that, there is nothing to build. You understand? I know all of those things. They will be in that interview. But when you tell me something that I don't know about you, I can look for a way to build a story around that. I want you to understand my point. Are you understanding, Anita? Anita, I like your line of questioning. She's like, why do you, when you have done this, when you have done this, that is a part of somebody's, you understand what I mean? Of something that you already approved. So it is not you. I don't see anything you in there. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Me? Yes.
Renala, do you?
Yes, I do. Okay. Let me show you something. And okay, let me show you something. Can I share my screen?
Sure. If you have to show me, you have to share.
Okay. Okay, let me enable. Okay.
Prof, why she's sharing? So you said that you have to mention every certification that you have in there. So even if you have nothing,
like relevant,
relevant, okay.
Relevant, yes. Mm-hmm.
So you mean like higher level education, you mean?
Absolutely. If you have a bachelor's degree in something, yes, I want it. If you have an associate degree in something, yes, I want it.
But how is that related to the job though?
Well, if you have a degree in history, I want to know that you know history. As I told you, HR is very interested. You are not in this. People, if you have two DBAs go for a job, right? One has a degree, one does not have a degree. In HR's eyes, right? You cannot be in the same space scale.
Okay.
You understand where I'm coming from? In the eyes of HR, you cannot be in the same space scale, even though you have nothing to do with the job. Somebody has a degree and somebody doesn't. If you ask why the experience matters most, most of us, almost everybody in here does not have a degree in computer science. You understand? But they always say a degree in all related experience. That's why we're going through all of this experience.
Okay, a degree in all related experience.
All related experience,
So, because what I know, at least what I've heard, for those people that are putting their resumes on LinkedIn, I guess you have to do your LinkedIn profile. Apparently, you have to like do it if you're not like in the field. You have to do like a 360, redo your LinkedIn all the way. So it's like, do you have to include your degrees even if it's not related to that?
Yes, 90% of IT professionals do not have an IT degree. If you have a degree in business, I want to see it.
So even past job experience?
Say that again?
Past job?
No, I'm not talking about past. That's why I'm saying degree. I did not say past job experience. I said degree. I said the certificate. Yes, I want to see that. If you have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, you are looked differently in the professional world, like it or not, especially human resources. They'll never pay you the same as someone without, except they have experience to back it up.
Okay.
So yes, go ahead, Renata. You have showed me.
Okay. So this is what I did. What I did was oh Jesus. What I did was I wrote down everything everything I thought everything I think I knew. And that's what I was telling you, that from what I know, that's what I say. So I think from what you're asking, 2 minutes, it is way too long, right?
2 minutes is too long?
No, what I wrote, 2 minutes is, this is a lot for 2 minutes.
So I want 2 minutes of it. It's a conversation. I know how the conversation normally goes. And I'm saying that if you can put this once in 2 minutes, okay, it's a way to build it. The interview has to take place. The interview may last for 20 minutes. You must give them the chance to ask you questions. That's what the interview is about. But when I say introduce yourself, you must introduce yourself and give it in 2 minutes. If it goes to 2 minutes, 30 seconds, that is for a manager. Else, you'll be stopped. If going on forever, they will just stop. Let's ask our questions. That throws you off. And you don't want to be thrown off, because that's the start of confusion. Okay, all right. When you say ensuring that, I work with a lot of development staff in defining what they need in terms of data structure to fill application development. What do you really want to say? Because I don't understand that. I work with the development staff in defining what they need in terms of data structure and data structure and data to fill the application development. What are you saying? It means, I don't know what it means. My role was in creating table structures for them that could support the development initiatives, pulling data for transferring data or transferring data from the system to use in their application. What are you trying to communicate? What are you trying to say, for example?
To be honest, this part, I don't know where it came from, but
You know, you don't know where it came from.
I
You
don't
write something
know.
down and tell me you don't know where it came from.
See, I made a lot of research. And in one of my research, I saw this and it was interesting. That's why I took it, and I
Okay, but it is interesting. What interests you there?
It wasn't.
It was in creating a table structures for them that will, okay, these are not things that DBAs do. You understand? Ensuring that I set the security right for the user and that the right people had the right access to the info. I built a lot of scripts to do nightly batch processes and did reports on system performance. That again does not make any sense, in the sense that you are trying to ensure security by running batch jobs. I do not understand what that means again. The part where I said I did not like, actually, this first part, I'm willing to fix that first part. Where you threw me off was when you started talking about to create logical structures. To manage DBs, I use tools such as Arman, SQL Plus, OEM, those tools are fine. At this point, I'm still writing notes. Scroll up, please. I installed and configured versions of the Oracle software using Run Installer. Scroll up. Scroll up. Okay, sorry, stop. I installed and configured versions of the Oracle software. Install and configure different versions of the Oracle software. At this point, I need you to put in the different versions. I've done performance tuning using tools such as AWR, ASH, OMTK Prof. On database migration using data pump, transportable places, table spaces, refreshes, prod to dev. Ooh. Okay, I did backup and recovery, full backups. So you see, you have not yet put them into sentences. Because I think if you had this thing to work on, I would not have stopped you. But what you were reading was not this. This is a template that if you use this to build whatever you wanted to build, I wouldn't have stopped you. But what you were reading was not this, right?
It was not. So I am actually answering your question. When you said that I must not use the one, I must use the one I wrote, and I was trying to show you that what I wrote,
Good.
I feel like.
Renalda, I would have preferred you to come and bring this one that you wrote and I'll fix it, because like when you started saying it, I'm reading this, I'm surprised because this is the thing I'm expecting to see. And then I'm going to fix this today. You understand? And I'll tell you how to put what where, because this is an original script. And I know why you went and brought this to tell me that you did it. But why would you bring this? If you have this, you're going to write a perfect story. And my job is to help you write that perfect story. But you were reading something else. That's why I called you on that. But these things, we are going to use it to build. You have the material to build. Why do you want to waste all of this material that you have put together? I'm seeing everything that I want to put together right now. That's why I'm surprised at. But what were you reading? Because I can tell you this thing to put here. Put this in writing. Let it, and put like that first one. We have to talk. What do you want to bring out? I'm going to look for the words for you to bring it out. This second one, which you said, okay, I don't like this one. It's wrong. But I like the fact that it's wrong because I can only fix something that is wrong. Because that's why I say I don't have anything to fix, but I can fix this. It's good to talk about the tools in performance tuning. Very, very good. It is good to talk about the tools that you have used, just all the tools that you use to manage. Very, very good. But you will put them in your own words. You're going to put your own words on it. Let me fix your own words. You will remember them better. And you will write a better thing than what you are reading. Prepare this part. It is how to talk. If you prepare it, you'll be very, very good. Because you're already putting the material together. Scrolling down, let me see. No stock transportable table spaces. Scroll down. Full backups, incremental backups using RMAN, user managed backups, data pump for logical. Nope, stop. You don't use data pump for physical backup, right? Data pump for logical, all right? And use recovery catalog. What have you done under security? For projects, you've done this. Performance tuning, keep going, scroll up and see projects. Go up. All right, okay, tell me more about your backup strategy. Okay, so that's not the question anymore. I use data pump, okay. About performance tuning, okay, so those are your other notes. But where is high availability? All right. You don't look at it project, don't look at project as if project you are doing school project. That's where you start talking about. For high availability, where is upgrades? You have not put upgrades here. What are the patches that you have put? So I want all of those to be soft topics that you talk about.
Upgrade. No, that's okay. This upgrade.
Oh, so you say, okay, project work. I thought you were still talking about high availability. You're calling it project work. No, that's high availability. Project can be anything. Even doing the upgrades could be a project, didn't you know? What is a project? Let me ask you. Because I see some people are confused. What is a project? Anything that has a begin date and an end date. All right? Any piece of work that has a begin date and an end date. I will do projects between what? In what environments? In development, test, and UAT or QAT. And then you cut over the project to production. It's no longer a project. It's gone live. So we need to do that too. I want to explain to you this life cycle. I think I will have to do that before we go on to the next phase of soft skills. Soft skills to need to explain to you that life cycle. All right? I'm just saying go and put words around this and then bring it back. Put your own words and then we can talk about it. We'll fix small things than you trying to read somebody else's work. Are we good? Are you good?
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay, another person. I hope this is not I'm not correcting, but now I'm correcting the entire class so that you see where we're going to, what we want. So please ask questions and clarify your minds. So go ahead and another person, if you're ready to talk, if no one has questions. This thing is not as easy as it seems. Start it. It will worry you a little bit, but it gets better. Start it. It's going to be slightly worrisome, but where are the words? Where are these? But it gets better. Just keep doing it. And just do something wrong. And I want to correct something that is wrong than to just not have anything because we don't know where to start. All right, next person.
So for me, I guess a good way to actually build this is to start from the beginning, like from DB1, then DB2, and then projects. So you start talking, because it's like if you need to have like a structure.
Let me tell you why that one will not work. Because when you start DB1, DB2, you may go to chapter 1, chapter 2. You understand what I mean? But what I'm saying is that look at something. Look, let's take security, right?
Right.
Anita, how many? Where have you done security? You've done security in DB1 in chapter 8, where we created users, roles, privileges, profiles, and so on, right?
Right.
The next time you did security was when you were doing auditing, correct?
Correct.
The next time you did security was when you were doing TDE, correct?
What's
Right.
that?
So what we are saying is that it's no longer by chapters because it's all over the place. But I will want you to look at it. Security is a huge part of database administration. Backup and recovery is a huge part of database administration. Guess where you started backup recovery? DB1, right? In DB2, you did it. And at every point, you implement certain aspects of backup and recovery. Performance tuning has been a big, where did you start performance tuning? DB1, right? Then DB2, but I want you to lump them all down together and see how you can talk about performance tuning. Yes, are you going to have DB1 material in there? Yes, and DB2 and projects. High availability. What do you want to talk about high availability? You want to talk about Golden Gate, right? You want to talk about rack, correct? You want to talk about data guard. Are we following? Am I making any, right? If you want to talk about installation, you started installing when? DB1 you installed on day 2 or week 2 or week 3. Guess what? You went, by the time you went to project, they wipe your server entirely, you installed again. So it's all over the place, but that all what you were doing was what? Installation and configuration. And the next thing that follows in terms of installation and configuration is what? Patches. You want to talk about patches. When did you do patches? In projects, but when did you, so do you see how it's hard to do by DB1 and DB2? I'll prefer you go through major aspects of sections of database administration.
Okay. Another question I have for you is,
Yes.
can you like say tell me about yourself according to maybe the job description? So in order not to just put in things that are not all that relevant.
No. Why? The job description may be very limiting. In a lot of places, they just put words out there. But when they start talking about the job, there are certain aspects of it which, for example, what's going to give you a job is to see if you are proactive, to see if you are a team player, right? There is no aspect of the job description that says you are a team player. That is why we must have this generic one which will fit all, right? Then are you going to, I would skew it a little bit towards the job description. Yes, but guess what? There is a different job description for every job, and you will have 10 interviews. Will you have 10 different preparations? You must have this generic one that fits all. After all we're doing here is what? Database administration. Does that make sense? You talk about database networking. You talk about creating database links. You talk about listeners. You talk about managing the listeners. Just those little things. There are little aspects of different subtopics that we have done. You can present it that way technically. But today, I'm not even looking at that technical one because that technical one is this or that I'll fix. I want information about you that I can use to help you enhance your story, to bring you out of that pack. There is a pack of what? Database administrators here. What are you telling me that's different about you that I can use to make you stand out? Although all of us have done the same thing as a career, but something about me will stand me out from everybody else. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
What things that will step you aside. All of us will go to talk performance tuning. All of us will talk backup and recovery, and we'll talk security, and we'll talk rack and everything else. But what stands you apart? You will be 2 finalists, and you'll have to select one. I don't want you to go there and be talking as if you're a brother and sister. Everything that comes out of this person's mouth comes out from this person's own mouth too. Technically, we'll give you the things, but tell me something about you that I can use to help you build your story. If you think it's irrelevant, trust me, I'm going to track that relevance in there and make you stand apart. Somebody else, just go ahead, tell me your story. As bad as you think it is, that will be the story that I would like most because it tells me things about you, even though they are unrelated. But it makes you stand apart. And that's your definition of yourself. You're beginning a new career. You better start it strong. Like I said, when you go further, you will just be adding and removing things, but the core is already there. Who's next? Who's talking? If you do not talk,
Question.
yes, go ahead.
So the skills like proactive, customer service, team player, fast learner and stuff, should I go come before at the top of your tell me about yourself, or is it better at the end?
It can go anywhere. It's fine, either at the top or at the end. People who end with it usually sound very, very powerful. But I've seen also folks who just want to be different and do it on top. So I don't sound like all like cousins, and they do it at the introduction, and it makes it a very strong. Know that there are two things I will remember from every answer: the beginning and the end. So you can push it at the beginning and it comes out very powerfully, or you can take it at the end and you end very powerfully, or vice versa. I think most people like it at the end, just because it's not technical. After talking the technical mumbo jumbo, you can now come in and say, good with communication, excellent with this, good multitasker, good team player, and I say blah, 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 boom, you end. So that one stands right out because those are needed to give you the job.
So what can be like a good sentence, like a closing sentence where you tell me about yourself?
Anita, write is good one. I'll tell you whether it's good or not. I say what's a closing sentence is good. I just gave you one now. I just gave you one.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, because that's just an example. Or you can bring it up front and then you can still end strong.
Well, she probably wanted to answer the question.
Trust me, I can see her going there. That's why I said.
No, I understand. Like,
that's what she's doing.
Should I? No, my question is like, should I be like, okay, you know, can you talk about the job description or something? Say like, I feel like I'm a good fit for this job or blah, blah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Based on the job description, I think I'm going to be a good fit because the technologies that you are using, for example, Golden Gate, Ironman, and I am very, very comfortable using those applications, using those tools and those applications. Boom.
Okay.
What are you telling them? You're telling them that? Give me the job. I am very comfortable doing what this job demands of me.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So either way, try. If this way doesn't work, fix. And that's what you should be very, very willing to do. Try. If it doesn't work, fix it. Put another one. If it doesn't fix it, put another one. We'll try you until we get the best. That's it. You're building something. We'll not say, oh, how this is correct, then boom. No, build it. You hear somebody say something so nice one day, he was like, you know what? I'm going to look for a way to get that one in my story.
Okay, another question is, does it have to be so formal? Because I know some people, like they like to like make you feel at ease first, like for it not to be too formal. So
yes.
My question is like, in your tell me about yourself, can you give them like some background that is not really related to the job? Like maybe I'm from Cameroon, or I like doing this in my pastime, or
yes, you know. Especially, but that's what I'm expecting you to write. That's what I'm expecting everybody to write. You can write your hobbies, your this, your that. Some people, you have a good hobby, yes. You understand what I mean? So I'm expecting you to write those things. I remember the question, tell me about yourself. Then we'll put in technologies in there, but I want to know about you. And that's what I've been saying. Tell me things about you that I don't know. It's good to say that. You can say those ones, put it, my hobby is this and that. If you have an interesting hobby, you know, especially the manager wants to know that. The manager is trying to put a personality to that position. Nowadays, everything has to be online, so you will just do it on Skype. When we used to go out, the manager may hire you when you go out for lunch. That's how as cool as it can be, right? But he's going to say, okay, no, God, Anita, thanks for coming. Wow, how was your flight? Good, blah, 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 and so on. You say, yes, so we're going to go I want you to talk to this person, talk to this one, talk to HR, talk to this. Then you and I are going to go out for lunch. That's how I got one of my best jobs. And you and I are going to go for lunch. All right? And after lunch, then you can go. So it's gone. HR has gotten their feedback. This person has gone. You've already done the technical before they fly you in. Technical is finished. So they bring in 3 technically apt people. But now they want to put a personality. Managers will take you out. Just go there. What do you eat? And you are eating and you say, okay, so your flight was good and so on. So Anita, tell me about yourself. I don't want you to be thinking of what to say. I want you to have rehearsed, to have known this part and just flow it out. Let it come out as a conversation, not just as a proper interrogation. Be conversational, you know, and you are talking and you say, okay, I'll give you some of those other questions you'll see, because those are the questions that they are going to ask you. Those 15 questions that I'm giving you now, it will be mostly from that pool, nothing to do with database administration, but all about database administration. All right. So you all have to make very, 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 very sure that you take these questions very serious. Tell me about yourself is the question that you are going to answer over and over and over and over. So any other person, I need people to talk. If you are not talking, I'm going to give you a break now and mandate everybody to write something about themselves. All right? We are 23 for 1, and we cannot sit and be looking at each other. That's not why we have the exercise. Are we good? So if you want to, take the next 30 minutes and write something. And then when we come back, I'm going to give you the other questions, and then we'll go through it. All right? I'm giving the break because nobody's saying anything. So please, it's mandatory. After all this learning, we must be able to talk about it. All good?
All right, Prof.
All right, yes, please, you must write it. Everybody must have something. And we need to go through it. I cannot fix what I don't know. I can fix what I know. I can advise you to change or to correct what we have. All right? It's not
Yes.
here.
Yes, sir. Prof, don't bother. Your students are cooking.
They are cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking what?
Cooking information, sir.
They are cooking information. All right, I'm waiting for it.
Yes.
We'll come back at 7. We'll get back at 7:30, and I want to be overloaded with information.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll see you then. All right. So, question number 1. Tell me about yourself. So those who are writing it down, go ahead. Question number 1. Tell me about yourself. Again, as you know, that's the question we've been trying to go through. Question number 2. Remember, these questions that I'm giving you now are the questions that are likely to be asked by the hiring manager. Question number 2. Tell me something good about you. Question number 2. Tell me something good about you. Question number 3. Tell me something bad about you. Tell me something bad about you. Sometimes this question can be disguised as tell me something you'd like to improve on. But again, it's telling me something negative, tell me something bad about you. All right. Tell me something bad about you. Tell me your weaknesses. You should be very careful. If you've never planned these things, you can easily sell yourself. Question number 4. How did you become a DBA? Like I said, for the most part, most of us in here have degrees in science, in law, in this and that and that. And how did you become? I see a degree in engineering. How did you become a DBA? How did you become a DBA? Question number 5. What do you like about being a DBA? What do you like about being a DBA? How did you become a DBA? What do you like about being a DBA? What do you like about being a database administrator? Question number 6. What don't you like about being a DBA? What don't you like about being a DBA? What don't you like about being a DBA? Question number 7. What has been your best day on the job? What has been your best day on the job? Best day. What has been your best day on the job? Question number 8. Question number 8. What has been your most challenging day on the job? What has been your most challenging day on the job? Next question, question number 9. Do you like to work on your own, or would you rather work as a member of a team? Do you like to work on your own, or you would like to work as a member of a team? Question number 10. How will you deal with an underperforming colleague? How do you deal? How are you going to deal with an underperforming colleague? Question number 11. Do you have any leadership skills? If so, list them. Do you have any leadership skills? Question number 12. How do you deal with different personalities? How do you deal with different personalities? The next question is, have you ever been stressed on the job? If so, how did you handle the stress? Or how do you handle stress? Have you ever been stressed on the job? If so, how would you handle stress? Question number 14. How do you handle a situation where you differ with your boss? How do you handle a situation where you differ with your boss? Question number 15. Why should I give you this job? All right, so those are the questions that I said I was going to give you 15 of them. These questions will be coming from the hiring manager, the person who wants to hire you. And they have expectations. All right. So, and that's it. We are in for question number 1. We've been there for question number 1. I'm going to send it to your WhatsApp group. All right. So,
Prof, can you repeat the last question, please?
I sent it to your WhatsApp group.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Why should I give you this job?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Everybody good?
There we go.
Professor, so what if they ask you, why are you looking for a new job?
Any questions? My contract is coming to an end. I think it's time for me to move on to other opportunities. My family is moving, my blah, blah, blah. There's so many things you can say depending on the circumstances. But usually it's contract ending or,
Okay.
right?
Location.
Yep, relocating. Families moving, joining family, blah, 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 blah.
Can you say the culture, you're looking for different culture of the job or
No.
environment? Or
Say again, the one?
the culture, the company culture or environment.
It's not what you want?
Yeah, or you're looking for more, more challenges.
Oh yeah, you could say, that's what I say, you could, you're looking for more challenging opportunity and so on and so forth. The thing is that IT people change jobs quite a bit. That is really a downside.
Okay.
So if sometimes we don't really want to give a reason, like we just want to change,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want to put it on something else, You cannot say more money, right? Because the next person will give you more money and you go. But that's usually 90% of the reason. 90% of the time, that's why people are moving. But it's not just the right thing to say, I want to move because I want to make more money. So the boss will just feel like, okay, so when someone else comes in and flashes a little bit more money, you're out of here. You two are gone. So we want to keep that a little bit. All right, any other questions?
And I know sometimes they also ask, like, what do you know about our company or something like that?
Yes, when we get to that point, we'll say whenever they schedule you an interview with that company, that is part of the preparation for the interview. You read about the company. It's only at the time when they've scheduled you for the interview, then you go and read else. read about all companies because we don't know. But now when you read about them, then you can know anything about them. Because you know who the client you're interviewing for is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you jump on Google and Google it. It's part of preparation for the interview. Know about the company that you're interviewing for.
Okay. How important is having like a LinkedIn profile when looking for
Okay,
a job?
it is very important because it is the social media of professionals, right?
Right.
It is the social media of IT professionals, and like it or not, people go there. People actually will,
Recruiters.
yeah, recruiters go there. People actually recruit from there. Social media, you go there, create a profile, and it's the accepted professional. But what I want to do is clean whatever was there before, so you can get a new one. Because this one's coming with a new career, right? You have a LinkedIn profile now?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So you have to clear everything on there.
You have to clear it to bring up a new one so that when your name and because what happens is you will be tagging each other and so on, and you will be, those who are upper classes, when you're tagging each other and following each other, and you start getting into the circles out there. So a lot of people will see you because you tag someone who knows your work, who knows that. And that's the only way to build yourself a profile. Other than that, you just have to, it's going to be hard.
Okay.
Yeah. So you build your profile, work on it, you will be fine. Okay. That's the same way everybody's doing it,
Okay, so you don't just have to delete it. You can just go ahead and just update your information, right?
No, because you are going to claim experience, you have to delete it. You understand what I mean, right?
Wow. Okay.
Because you're going to claim that you've been working for the past XYZ times, then you go ahead and delete it. But when you, when you go across the street, or when these people are doing your last interview preps, they will tell you about exactly what they did with their profiles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of deleting the profile and just get a new one, it's not going to, and you start tagging each other.
All right.
It's a new career and a new profession. And if that's a media, for people, know that there's a lot of communication in there. There are lots of, interviews are scheduled which originate from LinkedIn profiles.
So my thing is, I don't really want to get you rid of everything because, if you, let's say down the line, you want to switch careers again, then that means you just have to start from scratch again.
Well, guess what you are doing? If you want to be starting from scratch again, then you have to, it is what it is. You are changing careers.
No, just because like connections. Like if you already have a good number of connections, if you're deleting your profile, you're losing your connections and making new ones. And then
what career was that? What professional careers were you doing?
I'm in accounting.
Okay. Then you can try to update it. You can try to update your career, your profile, but you cannot go past. You understand? You cannot do things in the past.
But I thought so all I have to really do is just take away my resume, right? Like my job description, my past experience.
Your profile has your past experience.
Yes, I understand, but that's it, right? That's all I have to change.
Well, when I'm in front of LinkedIn, then we can talk about that. You can see it, but I can ask you questions like, so what is the person who saw last week that you were this and now you're this? Do you want to say that to your professionals, friends, or colleagues who know you? You can think about it. You can see what you want to do. You know, again, you're doing something new.
Okay.
Since you love the career so much, right? You like your accounting, right?
No, I do, but it's like I don't want to lose all my connections, because you never know when you're gonna need them again.
Well, I'm sure there was a time that you left Cameroon that you were coming to America. You didn't want to lose your relatives. Did you lose them? But you don't see them. But you had decided that you wanted to make moves. When you make moves, you make the moves. Right?
Yeah.
You still miss your family. Yeah. But you feel that I will exploit my career optimally if I go to America. And that's what you're doing. Doesn't mean that you don't miss the people who were there. You do. But you got to prioritize.
Okay.
We all do. But we know that there are bigger things that we want.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions on any of those questions before we start going around and asking people to read again? And any of those questions? Any other questions? Any questions on any?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
So the part where you have to talk about your weaknesses, like in this case, does it have to be related to the job? Or
For
can
the
you
most part,
say
yes. For the most part, yes. I really wanted to because know that we're interviewing for a job. I wanted to be some job-related weakness. Wow. For example, give me what do you want to tell someone who is a potential hire? What do you want to tell them?
about a weakness?
Yes. That may not be job related.
That you shy.
Can I try?
Try what? Talk about a weakness?
Yes, to talk about the weakness.
Okay, sure.
So I can say I'm so detail oriented in such a way that I become so detail oriented, which makes my colleague to be bored around me. And I also want to make sure and to ensure that whatever tasks I get involved in, it should be done appropriately. And at times I work overtime to make sure that my project get done.
Well, you've said many things that I don't like. Like when you mentioned that thing overtime. What does overtime mean? This is corporate America. Nobody should be working overtime.
Okay, so let me say by like working extra hour and working extra time, and even my family would complain.
In corporate America, you want a balance between work and home. There is a reason why someone may be working too much. In corporate America, you are working too much. Either you are lazy and you cannot finish the amount of work that you are given in the appropriate time, or your manager has to be in trouble for making you work too much. So is it time to hire somebody else? That's how they are looking at it. We should be able to finish our work. Trust me, we know what DBAs do. We should be able to finish our work within the appropriate time and have enough time to do research, because research and development is a big thing inside IT as a whole.
So actually, sir, what I'm trying to do is like to use my advantage, like the weakness as an advantage. I don't know how I can relate it.
But that's what is killing you, because you're not putting it fine. They've asked for a weakness.
So I'm saying, is it possible to use my strength as a weakness?
Try. That's what I'm asking you to try, so that I can hear.
See,
Only when I hear something before I can tell you if that sounds good or not.
So I just tried.
And I said it doesn't make any sense. because they're looking at different things. That's how they are looking at it. Why are you not finishing the work? You are supposed to give everybody the appropriate work for the appropriate time. Else, the manager is supposed to call. I mean, sorry, it's supposed to hire somebody else. To be an all-rounded, well-grounded employee, you must be able to balance your work life and your personal life. So if one is taken from each other, then you're not grounded. You're supposed to finish your work at the appropriate time. So be careful when you go into such areas. That's why we're having this conversation, because that's the way they're looking at it. You see it as if you're working hard, they're liking you. No, they feel like if your manager is doing a good job, then you have a problem balancing work life and personal life.
Can you say that I am so determined and that to the point that I hate asking for help?
Okay. That I don't really like, because one of the things that I'm going to ask you to say when you're talking about communication is that I want that willingness and ability to learn from others.
Okay.
It's very, very important for you to say that, because you coming in with 5 years of experience and there are people with 15, 20 years of experience, it means you simply have a lot to learn from them. And we don't want that to be a complex process. So I really don't like that, because it's one of those, you understand what I mean? It's one of those check boxes where when you say it, your boss must check it. Willingness and ability to learn from others. Teamwork. So I don't like that as a weakness. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Could you say that I could use more experience with written communication? Like maybe I don't type really fast, or yeah.
Nobody actually types very fast, or we don't need to type really fast, because all you're sending is email, which is 1, 2, 3 lines and something. Nothing. I could use some help with written communication. Again, yeah, but how much do you really actually have to write? You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a few emails back and forth. Most of the time, when we're doing text, hope that's not what you mean by written communication. Okay. You're texting or instant messaging, so communication is really, and communication is very, very, very important.
Can I try, Prof?
Yes.
If I say, I'm a shy person, especially when I'm around new people, as a weakness.
Shy.
Yes. And I'm working on improving it by trying to talk more.
Okay. Let me try to put it in another, right? Let me just put it how I would say that. I have been noted, or have been spotted, or have been noted to be a little of the shy type, but with help and with talking to my colleagues, but I've realized that with my colleagues, sometimes how do I call it? Sometimes it is not very easy for me to warm up to new people. However, as time has gone on, I've seen that I've made some marked improvement in that. Do you understand how that went, right?
Yeah.
You clearly stated that we didn't want to say shy, but to ease up to new people. But in IT or in the business in the past 2 years, we've realized that we meet new people every day, and I've become good at that. So it's not really a negative thing, you understand? And what you're saying is that you recognize it, but in the past, but lately, we've been working on that, and I've seen that, I think I've made some good improvement lately. You've said something negative, but you've qualified it that it's something that I know is negative and I'm working on it.
So that's a good weakness.
It is not a good weakness, but it is a weakness, but it is not a bad weakness. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's an okay weakness. It's a little shy, but I mean, he's working on it. It's, that's not only going to remove you some points.
Okay.
Can I take the second attempt?
Yes.
Okay. Can I say that I'm an easygoing person, and as such, people have taken advantage of me in such, like, yes, I will just keep it that way. People have taken advantage of me.
That is too broad, because right now I am curious, and I'm sure you two everyone here is curious. What do you mean by taking advantage of you?
Like for example, I'm so hardworking to an extent. My colleagues would allow their tasks to be done by me, or they will beg me to do their tasks.
No, they will not allow their tasks to be done by you, because they have applications that they support. You have applications that you support. Tickets are given to people and so on. So there is no crisscross of work.
Right.
It's very defined, very straightforward. You support this application, tickets come, they send it to you.
So can you say it's difficult for me to maintain a work-life balance?
Okay, let me see how I can work that. Again, it's how you deliver it. I have sometimes struggled with maintaining a work-life balance. Sometimes I get too caught up in doing too much work.
Mm-hmm.
Too caught up in doing work that I may overlook a few things. However, my managers have been working, or the manager has been working on you to make sure that I find a balance. And lately, I think I've been doing okay. Do you understand what I say? There is a trend that I'm giving here. You understand that? I understand it. I'm working on it. And, it is something that could be, but again, it's all on delivery. But can't say I forget my life. No. So I have a difficulty sometimes where I am more, engulfed with work. However, I have discussed, or have had discussions with my managers who've helped me to actually see some. I want you to understand that you are talking to the person who is going to be your new boss. Does that make sense? So they can easily be biased against anything that you say. That if the person who is asking you this is your next manager. So when you are asking any of this, to say it is something that I know is not too bad, but managers help. Managers like employees who come and ask for help when they need help.
Mm-hmm. But not too much help.
No, it's not. We're not talking anything technical, right? We're just talking about help, like how do I help prioritize, like priority.
Like professional help.
What is professional help? Professional help is not a psychiatrist. That's what we mean by professional help.
Okay, Prof. What if we say something like I've had issues with multitasking, but with my previous years and experience in this job, I've learned that prioritizing my job has made it more easier for me to be able to multitask in some tasks. I don't know if I put it well.
All right. This is how I will put it.
Okay.
I would say prioritizing.
Mm-hmm.
Has been an issue with me in the past.
Okay.
However, I always worked very closely with my managers who've done a fantastic job helping me prioritize.
Okay.
And I stop right there. Which is, I have a problem. I know that I have a problem, and I talk to my manager, and they've helped me, and I appreciate that help, and we've been very good.
All right. What about inability to delegate tasks within my team members? I feel like I can do it all by myself.
Okay. Yes, I can see that one too. So, sometimes not inability. You understand? Which means you can do it, but sometimes you don't just see the urgency to do it. You understand? Yeah. So sometimes I have the urgency to hoard too much work, to hold too much within, which if I could delegate to others who will do it faster and better. But, I know it is a learning process. And slowly but surely, we delegate more and realize that we gain more or we get more accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
So again, delivery matters. That's why we are doing this. I want you to note that. Don't say I have that point in my ear, but you notice what I'm doing here is sounding good to your ears. Why? Because I'm putting the right words in the right places and then holding back. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it is what I'm hearing here. I'm playing with the words. I can say the same thing that you say, and yours will come out really, really bad. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have the inability to. Oh, you said, has been an issue, but however, I've worked on it and realized that delegating tasks, sometimes usually, or majority of the times, we have to, and then it is something that you have learned from.
Can you say the
same this communication? Yes, sir.
Can we say the same thing with time management? That I've struggled, delivery, maybe some task in time, but in the past, I work with tools like electronic devices to remind myself to keep up with those tasks.
Time management has been an issue for me, has been an issue for me every once in a while, or has been an issue in the past. But setting reminders and going through checklists is not the electronic thing to remind me. It's setting reminders and going through checklists have made me really walk through most of my tasks. I'm saying the same thing that you're saying, right?
Right.
Yes, but if you notice, I'm just trying to put it in a better way. You understand? Just present it like it has been an issue, but now, what is a checklist? Chat, right? And setting reminders. Anything can be your reminder. Your computer can be reminding you. You can set reminder emails to yourself. You can set alarms to help you remind. And setting reminders and going through checklists has really helped me. Or has conspicuously helped me. Now you're managing it. And we always like someone who has an issue, is working on the issue that they have, and we're making progress. Please make sure that you answer all of these 15 questions so we can walk through it and get your own. That is how this is. Bam, bam, sealed and delivered. Because we're going to begin summaries too. So I will need the list of every member in every group. Then also we can give assigned topics. So that's what we want to achieve within the next couple of weeks, next 2 to 3 weeks. We want to do soft skills 1, soft skills 2, and we'll do our summaries. I'm going to use our summaries to create our OneNote. You know what a OneNote is, right? It's a document that you're going to have which has all topics and then the summarized copy which you're going to use to help you in your interviews and so on. Because when it's a cheat sheet.
But Prof, when we're answering these questions, are we going to answer it based on the job description we're applying for, or just be honest with that interviewer, like the general? No,
this question that I'm giving is general, irrespective of the job description. You understand what I mean?
Because what I'm saying is, like, when you talk about weakness, for someone like me, my weakness is accountability. Like, making sure people are accountable of whatever they do. So how do I put that into this IT job?
Your weakness is accountability. One is, you are going to a job as a junior to mid-level, you are not responsible for any person. So you don't have a supervisory role.
Yeah, that's
so you're not supervising. But I'm just telling you that going into an IT job where you have to work with others and so on, if they said the weakness, like I said, you're going to claim that you've worked for a while. So what has been based on your resume? Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No.
Yes, because we want to say in the past 4 years, in the past 5 years, or whatever time, what has been some of your weaknesses? What again, this manager is deciding here is, are you a fit? Are you going to fit in their environment? They have a shop. You want to be a member of that shop. They have a team. You want to be a member of that team. Will your personality match the members of this team? That is the manager's job. Because like I said, there will be maybe 2-3 people that went through the first 2 parts of the interview. So now the manager is between you 2, who do I think will fit best? Between you 3, which one will fit best? That's why we have to make this environment, and you tell us about this environment, and then the manager will let you in. Say, come and join our team. All right, any other questions?
Yes, tell me something you don't like about being a DBA.
That's the question I asked you. You tell me.
I don't know how to relate it.
Say that again?
I don't know how to relate it. What I could say, that's why I don't know. Does it have to be related to the job, or I guess
Yes,
it does have to be
it
related.
specifically says
So,
as a DBA.
A DBA. So
Yeah.
can I say I don't like having to sit down all day in front of a computer?
Hey. Talk it and see what they will do to you. Guess what?
I mean,
No, guess what? This job that you are coming is going to be in front of the computer too. Their own database will not be in front of the mall. You can't say something like that because it is just what we do. You don't want to sit in front of a computer, but that's the nature of our job. You cannot be a soccer player who hates grass. Just running on the grass every day. That's exactly what you just said. Why do you want to play? What don't you like about it? I don't like running on top of the ground. That's what soccer is about. That's what database, that's what IT is about, sitting in front of a computer.
Yeah.
Where would you rather sit?
Okay.
That's how we do our job. In fact, almost every professional person sits in front of a computer, irrespective. You as an accountant, where do you sit? In front of what? Papers?
No.
Thank you. It's in front of a computer. And we know what we do. We do our exercises. They say don't sit for more than what? An hour or 2 without moving around. You have your pressure balls, those little squeezy, to get these things flexible.
Does it actually work?
It does. Well, look at my fingers. You see?
You're always moving around.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even I'm being in the class, sometimes I stand up and I'm teaching when you don't need to see me. I stand up and teach and just, move around. As a teacher, I'm moving around. But as I wake up in the morning, I'm in front of the computer. If I'm not teaching or standing in front of people, but guess what? There is no option now to stand in front of people. So I sit in front of the computer every day, just looking at it, and it's looking at me. Guess what? When those checks come, you will love the computers. You will look on it very well. You say, no, you know what? With this check, nah, it's okay. I can manage.
So can you say that I don't like being a DBA because it is sometimes hard to create a work-life balance due to the many deadlines?
No. A good shop, a good manager is supposed to not overwork somebody. If there is too much work in an environment, people start leaving. If you cannot have a good work-life balance, people start looking for other jobs. So a good environment, you need a manager. That's why I'm saying, remember that you are talking to the potential manager. You're supposed to give everybody an amount of work which gives them time to be able to do and actually do research and do. Some are high-paced environments. And if you know it's a high-paced environment, people leave. And I said, it was too high-paced for me. You know, you come in and it is done, you know. But I just know that people learn more in high-paced environments. So I mean, for a new DBA, you are supposed to be attracted to a high-paced environment. Once you learn everything, you know everything, then you can go out and get an environment where you chill. Be very careful. Be very careful what you wish for. If you wish for a low-paced environment, oh my goodness, it can be so low-paced. You will be so bored. You won't even find it fun.
That's when you look for another job.
We have a low-paced environment.
You look for a second job.
Okay, second job. That's the in word these days. Everybody has. So what do I do? Let them work, make good money for themselves, take care of you and your family. Then you will not mind the sitting in front of a computer. Now you want to sit in front of two computers. Anita.
Okay, so another question. Okay, so can you say that given the current situation of COVID, it makes being a DBA hard because I'm not able to physically interact with my colleagues?
It is not a normal. COVID is not normal. You see what I mean? But I really want to, you know, not interacting with colleagues is a hard thing for everybody right now, irrespective of what you're doing. The question is, what don't you like about being a DBA?
So can you say, I love everything about being a DBA?
You can say that.
Okay.
But one of the things that we don't like normally sometimes is Oracle support, but hey.
Sir, so all these 50 questions you gave, are we to summarize it and put it like to tell me about yourself?
No. There is a question there which says tell me about yourself. All of the next question is question number 2. Tell me something good about you. What has that got to do? It's a different question.
Yeah, but that question, like, how do you even answer that? Tell me something good
what?
about you. Is that talking about your what's the opposite of weakness?
You talk about your strengths.
Strengths, there you go. Okay. But your strengths, that would be like, you know, your skills, right? Like proactive, good customer, okay, team player.
Why do you want me to answer the questions for you now?
Yeah, but that's already in your tell me about yourself.
No. So when they're asked differently, what do you say? I've already told you that before, right?
No.
Thank you. When they start with it, you've thought about yourself. And then they went for the next question. How did you become a DBA? I see you have a degree in accounting. And you go there, you finish. And he says that, how do you do? Are you a team member? Do you like being a member of a team? Or would you, this is over lunch, or this is the interview going on. And he says, okay, all right. You know what? What happens when you differ with your boss? Tell me, have you ever had an incident where you differ with your boss? How did it go and what happened? He's trying to see what you've done before in the past because that's what you're going to do again. Then he comes and says, at some point says, why should I give you this job? And then you come in and say, okay, you know what? Tell me something good about you. I say, didn't you hear it when I first said?
No.
Thank you. The person is trying to bring a personality out of you so they can see if it is a good fit with their job. They already have an environment with many people in it. Do you fit in? So they will ask until they can bring, you know, for me, it's opportunities to shine. At this point, every question they ask you is like light your torch even brighter. You just keep talking and going and giving good vibes about you.
Prof, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so what if they ask you a question like, lead me through a day as a DBA?
Lead me through your day as a DBA. All right? That question is in soft skills 2. And the first question in soft skills 2 is, what are your daily activities as a DBA? Does that make sense? What are your daily activities? What do you do? When you wake up in the morning, what do you do? What do you do? How do you get your work? How do you get this? Do you check your emails? What are the alerts that you have set that you will go and check? How do you check your alerts? How do you receive work? Do you have a ticketing system? What kind of tickets do you get? How do you get your tickets? Do you go look for tickets or tickets are assigned to you? Every job is different. What is the name of the ticketing software that you use? All right, that's a different question now. And that one is talking about your environment. Soft skills one, but you understand it is the first question in soft skills one. What's your daily activity? Tell me what you do every day. So we'll have a list of all of those in soft skills two. If we finish this one this week, we can start the soft skills two next week and finish it too. That one is pretty straightforward because we just tell you what's in the environment, what operating systems you use, what's the ticketing. People use Remedy, people use Lotus Notes, people use ServiceNow, people use Outlook, Microsoft Outlook, we use Heat, there are many different tools that people use to route tickets when they have technical tickets. What is change management? Change management tickets. So that's the soft skills too.
Okay. I have another question.
Yes.
Which is probably not related to the questions you asked. So I just want to know, can you advise any of your students to work in an environment where they are the only DBA?
Will I advise you to accept a job in an environment where you're the only DBA?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You are the king and the queen of that environment. Nobody is there looking over your shoulders. You take it, make the environment yours, and you will relax and walk there and everything. And you learn more when you're by
You're
yourself.
accountable for everything.
Absolutely.
So is that even possible?
Yes, a lot.
Of course.
About two people, one of the 4 or 5 people last week, someone said, I'm the lone DBA. I said, yes, go take it. Enjoy the ride. This happens a lot. We don't have to, we do not hire 2 DBAs if we did 1.
Okay.
It's okay. You will know that there is backup. Should be done. If something is slow, you will do it. You don't have anybody looking over you. Again, sometimes those are the best environments.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. If you go to where there's a team, very good. Go there, you learn from others, you show others what you know, and you move forward. So it's still a good environment too.
So I want to reiterate on something you just said.
Mm-hmm.
You said it's not advisable to say you work late at night and even on weekend on corporate hours. So because on my point, I said I've always made my deadline by working sometimes late at night and even late hours.
So you have a question?
Yeah, I'm not trying to correlate with what you said, that it's not always advisable to tell your.
We don't want people to work late nights. We don't want people to work because we need to have a life-work balance. So if you're working late night, it's at the detriment of something. Why? Do you need more staff? It may happen every once in a while, but it's every once in a while. It's not the norm.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, a project comes in every once in a while. There is a go live. Every once in a while, an IT personnel is going to work weekends, rush, do it. But after that, we go back to normal. So it's not normal. It's not normal that we are working lengthy hours every day.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So, and also lastly, what if I know we've not really gotten there, but what if they ask you like something you clueless about?
Like what? A certain technology or what?
Yes, like a certain technology, or perhaps like, let me say it, perhaps like on rack, they will ask you about a process you have nothing up you know
I've
nothing about.
not encountered that. I've not yet encountered that, but I'm sure it's something that I can learn pretty easily. I have not yet worked with that tool, but I'm sure, like any other tool, it's something that can come in very handy, or if I take a look at it.
Okay.
Most of the time, they'll say, "Oh no, it's okay, it's easy to get it." I'll just ask you if you knew about it before. It's easy. We'll show you how. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So it's not that you must know everything.
If I say one of the things I don't like about being a DBA is that sitting in front of a computer for a long time has affected my vision, because like the past couple of years, my vision has deteriorated because, you know, sitting long hours in front of a computer. Is it a good?
I don't think it is because you're a DBA. I think if you're an accountant, you sit longer hours in front of a computer. So DBA has nothing to do with that. Again, just like I told Anita, you cannot say you don't like being a soccer player because you don't like grass. That is where we make our money. In fact, I don't know any job now that doesn't sit in front of a computer. You're a manager, you're in front of a computer. If you are an accountant, that's where you are. If you are anything, all the videos, a programmer, you sit there. Anyone use, that's where you are. So it's not because you're a DBA that will say makes you sit in front of a computer.
The reason I was actually wondering if that could work was like, does it have to, well, you already said it does have to be related to it. I'm just thinking, because I used to be a cashier, so I'm just thinking from something I use in an interview. So they asked me, what don't you like being about? What don't you like about being a cashier? So what I said is, I don't like to have to stand up all day, you know, and I feel like that could be acceptable. So why is it that this cannot be acceptable? It's not, I'm looking for a job because I want to look for a job, a DBA job, you know? So it's not like how, it's just an honest answer. That's what I'm saying. I don't like sitting in front of the computer all day. It's an honest answer.
Good. And I'll take it honestly too.
Okay.
Good. And I'll not give it to you. I like people who like to sit in front of a computer because our job is in front of a computer. You understand what I mean, right? Do you want to lose an opportunity because you don't want to, because you want to say you don't want to sit in front of a computer? That's how you have to look at it. That's how I look at it.
I'm just saying, like, I feel that's being honest. Like you said, the person, the interviewer is looking for personality, right? For someone they can trust. So if you're not being honest,
for someone who can do the job, they don't have to trust you. You just have to do the job. And when they do the job, they're going to be comfortable doing the job. But I would, if I have two candidates and you two have said everything the same, and someone says, I don't like being a DBA because I don't like being in front of a computer. So I know that this is not really a passion for you, you know, because there is nothing about DBA that you can do outside the computer. That's where we do all our work every day. We have 3-4 screens. We come in here. This is my love. I love my 4 screens. This one, I do this application issues I'm solving here. This one connected to that one. That is my work. If you come and say, why do you want to hire to job to be a surgeon? You say, I don't want to see blood. And then somebody comes and says, I just like helping people. Trust me, I have a bias against someone who doesn't want to see blood, because that's what we do. We cut people.
It's okay. It's okay. I understand what you're saying.
It's not okay.
Okay, sir. Sir.
Ah, boy, this soccer player don't want grass.
Prof.
I'm hearing, talk.
Okay, so what I've clearly understand you saying is sometimes I honestly really don't count, or honesty actually. And
you've already lied that you have 5 years of experience. What's honest about it already?
Right. So is
Thank
it
you.
So is
you
it
want to have a job, go and get this job, and then your 1 year here will be worth every second of it. It's true. If I want to be somebody, you want to go and work. When you work, you will love the job. You will have so much time out of the computer than you've ever had before. Because the DBA job is not that hard. It's not, you don't work all the time. It's not that hard. In fact, I work on my phone. Sometimes half of my job is done on the phone. They really have. I pay this, I pay that, I do this, I do on my phone. And my computer, and I'm sitting in the office. I'm paying all the bills, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm calling this here, I'm meeting students, I'm doing, yes, all without being in front of a computer. As a DBA, some days I don't turn my machine on. They pay me for what I know, not for what I do. You're not a data entry person. You're not data entry. You are not there looking at the numbers. Anita, as an accountant, you will be in front of the computer way more than you will be as a DBA. Take that to the bank.
Actually, I don't agree with that.
You will agree with that, right?
I don't agree with that. I think a DBA,
okay.
As a DBA, you...
Okay, and Anita, you can only compare two things, right? Work as a DBA, right? And touch base with me 6 months down the line, and I'll bet you, then you have money, $1,000. How about?
Wait, why are you, oh, we're betting money?
Yes.
Oh, what?
I'm saying, okay, do you know the bet, Anita? After you have been a DBA, correct? Work for 6 months or 1 year, your choice, and then get back to me and say, I spend more time now in front of a computer than when I was an accountant, and I will give you 1,000. If not, if you say less, then you give me 1,000.
Might be a judge.
Who is a judge?
I want Anita to be the judge and the jury.
Okay, it's fine.
That's how confident I am.
So in other words, you're saying that I shouldn't be saying that, okay, I don't like being a DBA because right now I'm already in front of a computer more than I will be if I
yes
DBA. Okay. All right.
So sir, basically if they're asking that question, I would say I have no weakness. I've never regret being a DBA.
Well, I've had some people who said that, but we have also, I told you something like I said, Oracle support sometimes will take a long time to get back to you when you open up cases. Okay. I said that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you also say that the amount of research, like sometimes you not being able to find a fix, and the amount of research that you have to put in and the deadlines causes you to work overtime?
No, you don't work overtime. What we'll say is that they say when you can research, okay, let me explain something to you. No work will be given to you and they want the answer now or tomorrow. No, they will come and tell you that we are planning to do an upgrade. The upgrade should take place. This is in a meeting. The HR application wants to upgrade to 12C. The finance wants to go to 12205. Okay, Anita, will you lead that project for us for finance since you support them directly? What time frame are we looking? We don't know yet, but we think maybe in about 6 months, maybe. Okay, so what will Anita do? Anita will go and create a finance environment or install 12C on a server. You actually would give the specifications for a server. They will allocate the server to you. But note that I said 6 months down the line. So the servers come in, you do the installation, you put it in, you copy this database across, upgrade it to 12, and let them start doing testing. Testing is where all the time is going to be spent. So it's usually, they usually have that deadline, today, fix it right now. You understand what I mean? It's hardly that they give you project for you to do. They give you the time to do it. As I said, upgrade, takes 6 months. They want to go on data guard, but only they are testing because they have to make sure that they test very well. You configuring the environments will be nothing. After you've done anything here, they ask you to do it, it takes you 2-3 days, but they'll give you 3 months. You understand what I mean by we are not, nobody holds the gun to your head and say now, or now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you are given ample time. That's what good managers will do. My manager, every time you ask for, when he says, how long would it take you to do this? When you say 1 week, you say take 2.
Wow.
Say 2 weeks, you say take 3. Say 3 weeks, you say take 5.
I actually love this job.
You think it's a bad job before all people are going there in their drones? It's a good place to be. It's a good environment, no matter what you are doing. It's a beautiful, it will be the best thing that has ever happened to you work-wise. Because the amount of job that you do is very minimal. Sometimes it will be hard. It's not that it will be hard, but it will just be a lot. But after that lot is finished, you've called out to production, you go to work on a Friday, you change passwords for 2 users. That's your entire Friday. And you say you're staying in front of the computer. Bring my money and don't forget that. It's not hard. When you get your job, you get your environment. My environment is just cool. My environment is just smooth. They will teach you how to do things. People hire you so that you succeed. They do not hire you so that you fail. They will give you every ammunition so that you succeed. Every tool. All this nonsense you are doing, I want you to understand the concept. There are tools that you click 1, 2, 3, does everything for you. But I cannot teach you that way because if we do that way, you cannot troubleshoot. We good?
Yeah.
Environments are actually very, very good. All you need to do is to just make sure that you do your part and the rest will fall in place.
So, Prof, I know I probably already asked you this before, but so you said summary. Well, right now in summary. Summary is going to be 3 weeks, right?
Summary is going to be 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And then after summary, what do we do?
Postgres.
Postgres, and that's about?
Say that again?
About 2 weeks too?
Oh no, Postgres will take about 4 weeks.
So that's a month. Okay.
Yes.
Before we get into the soft skills.
Interview process. No, we're finishing soft skills.
Okay. Interview.
We're finishing soft skills within this week and next week. We're doing a summary and soft skills.
So let's say like around end of January, that's when we'll be actually in the interview room.
Yes, you should. I will request your resumes before the end of the year. I must have requested your resumes, not before the end of the year. So when I give you a resume, just give me what I'm saying is, we'll make your resumes, but we want you to tell me if you have education in this, certification in this, your name, phone number, email address. Just send it in a Word document. I'll give you the email address to send it to them. and then they will put the content in it, then send it back to me and I give it to you. So we should have the resumes by January.
Okay.
I will also have to do the interview preps themselves, the technical interview preparations. There is a full class for that.
And that's like usually how long?
No, you do it while you're interviewing, you are doing it.
Okay, all right.
Well, we will walk and chew gum. I mean, at this stage, you don't wait for one thing to finish to go to the other. You understand what I mean? You are doing postgrads. Why are you not doing interview preparations for, you're doing postgrads and interview preparations at the same time for Oracle? You're preparing this, then next you go take the postgrads class. Those things will just help you, right? But it doesn't stop you from interviewing.
Okay. And the class schedule is going to stay the same, right?
No, some will change, especially for the morning people, because some of these people can do it only in the evening after work. But for the evening class, you're going to be, I think you will be fine. You will stay the same, except for Saturdays, because there are some classes which will be held on just on Saturdays, which is just interview preparation. That one is called live environment. You see people working live. So they keep assignments and then they do it with you live. So I was given a ticket to do this. This is how the ticket came. This is how I did it. Yes. And when I came in, this is my this. This is what I did. This is my upgrade. This is how I did this. You understand what I mean, right?
Right.
Basically, it's a live environment. So questions. How would you do? What if it was da, 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 da. So some you see things that are broken, and then how they do fix it. I just give those ones a ton because I think at any class that you jump into, you will hear something that, or you see something that happened at work.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So at that time, it's just work environment, fixing your story. But by this time, you'll fix all your software, you know your thing, you have your OneNote. So all is you just seeing it how it's done in real life. In fact, people who are working, they attend those Saturday classes more than even the people who are still interviewing. Because you can say, they told me to do this, you understand, you're not talking to people who are working.
Okay, so I also wanted to know, so the certifications that we're taking right now, when you're actually interviewing for the job, if you mention it, do they usually ask to see the certifications?
Nah, hardly. I mean, they'll ask you if you are certified. Some will. I think I've seen some, but if you can always order a copy, correct? I think you just have to pay for the printing and shipping.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you shouldn't lie about your certifications, right?
Because it's verifiable.
Oh, okay.
If they want to, but you cannot say you're OCP certified when they can just, send that and they should get an answer.
Okay.
I kind of think everybody is OCA certified, right?
Yeah. So, and that would just be for the IT certifications, right? So you cannot lie on the other stuff. Other certification. Yeah, the degrees and stuff.
I don't know.
Okay.
People have done other one, but me not speak English. People lie there. Why do I know? They say it and they say they manufacture it in Kumbana. If you have a degree, make sure you have it handy. They will always check. Most of the background check will check your education. Certification, nobody checks it.
I have a question.
Yes.
See, the soft skills and the tell me about yourself you're using for Oracle database. Can you use it for Postgres?
The soft skills and tell me about yourself. If it fits, you use it. It's going to be the same thing. It's a database because we're doing mostly for database administration, right? So you must change versions and all of those type of things. But yes. But usually most shops have the Oracle. They interview for Oracle and then they have Postgres too. And then there will be Postgres on your resumes too, so you can talk about the Postgres. It's just like I said, no one shop has only Oracle. They have Oracle, they have SQL Server, they have this. If it's on there, they're going to ask you. Those things you learn for 1-2 weeks. You must market yourself for more than one database. It makes you more marketable. Because as I said, most environments, they're smaller applications, they're moving them out to Postgres. When they want you to do it, yes. When they hire you because you're an Oracle DBA, Postgres will do it any minute, or even SQL Server. Any questions?
I have another question.
Oh.
So, during those interviews, is there a case where they ask for W-2 from your past jobs?
During the interviews?
I mean, when the interview process, probably when you have the job offer.
When they offer you the job, yes, then they can ask you anything.
Yeah, when you're filling the job offer, can they ask for the
No,
W?
when you're not filling the job offer, when you have had the interview, you've passed the interview, they have selected you, then they can now ask you any personal information from you, but that's only after the offer has come in.
Okay, and what in case they ask for the?
Worry about that when that time comes. When you have the job already, trust me, you have no problem.
Okay.
Everybody is working. Everybody who has been given the offer is working. So there's a method to the madness.
Okay.
Any questions? So we're coming here, we are 24 people or 25, and then 5 people talk. And then we want to end the class.
I think Bello wanted to read his Tell Me About Yourself.
Oh, he wanted to? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, I have 9 more minutes. I can listen to one more.
So you've said some things that I need to take it up. Should I still read it?
Yes, go ahead. No problem. Just go ahead. Let's see.
Okay, let me put it up.
Oh, you are kept it aside.
I've saved it.
I will not like this to come back the next class and then myself, Renalda, Anita, and Bello are talking, or, for every once in a while. That is not how it works. Or Patrick, please, it has to be something that all of us, or Monica is saying this. I want everybody.
So for next class, what are you expecting for next class? Still just question 1.
Okay. Read the Tell Me About Yourself, but I want you to put in what we have discussed today. I'm also expecting that, time permitting, you have started answering the other questions. But I want that Tell Me About Yourself written down in a page and a half, telling me things that I need to fix.
What font?
Okay, so let me read Anita, permit me to read my Tell Me About Yourself. Okay, so my name is Coach Bello. I've been in Oracle Database Administration for 5 years, and I have experience with many Oracle tools. Though I have worked across different platforms such as Sysbase, we have MySQL Plus, Microsoft SQL Server, but primarily working with Oracle Linux Server, release 5.9 for the past 3 years. So I actually graduated from the University of Boyo, Cameroon, with a bachelor's degree of banking and finance. My interest in Oracle database started in my final year degree project and a seminar which I was involved in data collection, which gave me tremendous opportunity to play and manage data and analyzing, which caught my attention and interest in database administration. Few years working as a teller in a bank, I literally didn't find the job challenging enough for me. I wanted a career and not a job, so I resigned and decided to get a certification for Oracle, and I got certified from Oracle University, which I was fortunate to pick a job few months down the line. My most recent working, my most weekend, my most recent experience working as a DBA are but not limited to full database maintenance, database migration, creating database link to enable communication between data across different networks. On a daily basis, I run customized script to query for issues such as expiring administrative password, validating disk space, and not low to make sure they are not low. And okay, so and also in terms of security, I was also involved in implementation tasks like creating user profile and password, including granting roles, administrative privileges, securing stored data using transparent data encryption, and making sure that only the right people get access to information. And also in terms of high availability, I was also an active member that was involved in implementation of RAC to ensure high availability, maximum performance, and scalability. I was also involved in configuring DataGuard for recovery and high availability, and DataGuard Broker for monitoring and automatic switchover in case of failure or disaster. Also, I was also involved in configuring Golden Gate for real-time data replication across heterogeneous platforms. Also in Upgrade, I have tremendous experience. I was also involved in a team. I was also involved in a team and upgraded database from 11G release 1 to 11G release 2, and also from release 2 to 12C database using run installer, DBUA, and Datapom and Logical Data Guard for upgrade, which I was an active member applying patches such as OPatch and running some tests to make sure it doesn't affect the performance of the database. Knowing fully whether data loss is a nightmare to every organization, I used different strategy for data backup, such as a recovery catalog, backup set image copy, depending on the environment. I also use Contab to schedule full backup for weekends, accumulative or differential backup for daily needs. And and at a time, I have performed consistent and inconsistent backup using RMAN and user managed backup recovery for critical files and non-critical files. And I was also fortunate to do point-in-time recovery. Okay, and also lastly, in terms of maintenance and performance tuning, maintaining the database and using top-down approach for my performance tuning from database server, instance object, and database SQL using tools such as ASH, AWR, SQL Performance Analyzer, table partitioning, and indexes. And I also use PKProf to convert trace file to HTML readable format. My experience working as a DBA taught me the importance of positive communication among all members of my team. And for any type of project to succeed, working with a team and focus is very exciting. I am very creative and analytical person. Such when it comes to data, and I am also detail oriented, which is why I'm excited about this opportunity. So that is all what I've prepared, sir.
Well, you have a lot of information in there, but my biggest problem was your delivery. It was not exciting. Nobody would want to listen to that thing. This when you start reading like that, why are you struggling to read something that you wrote? They'll put you on mute. And everybody's playing with their phone because you're not getting it. I'm not getting what you were trying to say. So you have to go and start from scratch and get this. That would fix the whole thing. And why are you struggling to read something that you wrote? That's a question that you want to answer. If you write something, you should just deliver. You understand? If you write something, just deliver. Have a lot of information, but where they're coming, whether it's in the right place. Sometimes I think you're talking about backup. The next minute I hear you're talking about TK Prof, and the next minute I hear you're talking about performance. Then you talk about maintenance and performance in the same line. It is all over the place. But we'll take a look at it. All right? Try to fix it with all the things that I have said. And everybody should write your own. I like it. Some story that needs fixing, like what Coach just said. You know? I like it because I'm aware. It's still good, no, but I like it because I have something to fix, to correct. It's a way why 1 million times better than nothing. Don't just bring nothing in front of me and I cannot fix nothing. Are we going to fix it? Yes, we're going to add this, we'll remove this, put this, change this, say it this way. Does it sound better to you? Yes, okay, good. Commit that down. Now that's part of your own. Move forward. I want to fix things. Make me work for you. If you don't give me nothing, I'm not going to fix nothing. But if you give me something, then I can fix everything. All right?
But was I think his introduction and conclusion was good, right?
No. I didn't know what he was saying in the introduction. I liked a few parts of it, but a lot of things I asked, what are you really trying to say? Go ahead, read that introduction again.
So I should read my introduction.
Read it, yes.
Okay, so my name is, hold up, real quick. Okay, my name is Koji Bello. I've been in Oracle Database Administration for 5 years.
Okay.
I'm experienced with many Oracle application tools, though I have worked across different platforms such as Sysbase, MySQL.
Anita, what is he saying? Anita?
Well, yes.
Yeah, go ahead. What is she saying?
What is he saying?
Yes. A second. We got the first one. My this thing is
okay. Now that we read it again. No, I think he should maybe rearrange it because he's talking about some personal stuff, like still in the introduction, but it should be
Sysbase. What is Sysbase? Keep going, Bello. Continue from Sysbase. What else did you talk about?
So what is Sysbase?
Yes.
So Sysbase is like it's like a utility for business intelligence and data warehousing.
Sysbase is a utility for business intelligence and data warehousing. What has that got to do with database administration? That I think your resume is supposed to be about. Okay, go ahead. Sysbase. Then what was next?
MySQL, excuse me, Microsoft SQL Server. But
okay, what is Microsoft SQL Server? What is Microsoft SQL Server?
Says it's also an application we use to manage database, right?
It's a totally different relational database management system. So why are you talking about a tool, comma, a database, comma, what's next after that?
And Linux, which I have.
Linux and operating system. So you're talking about different things, just juxtaposing them. I don't know what you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. You're talking about a tool. You say that tool is used to do business intelligence. The next thing you talk about Microsoft SQL Server in the same line. They are not synonyms. Or they are not, they are not, you are not talking about the same thing. Because if you tell me you talk about PostgreSQL, then you talk about Sybase, then you talk about, I know you're talking about different relational database management systems. But whatever you are listing, I don't know what you are listing. What do they do? Read the next line after that.
So the next one is kind of personal. Like I graduated from the University of Boyo with a degree of banking and finance.
Mm-hmm.
And my interest in database started in my first year, in my final year degree.
Mm-hmm.
In my final year degree, okay, so the project, my final year degree project and seminar, which I was opportune to be in tremendous. Excuse me, sir, I've mixed the line. Can I start it again?
Start again.
Sir, I just wrote this thing. I need time for it to, for it to process. That's why I'm, yeah.
You just wrote it. Go and read it again and fix it. No, Anita said it was good. So I was trying to make Anita that until we start dissecting line by line, then we are going to do that. Whatever Bello wants to say, I want him to say it. I want us to remove some of those things, add some other things, mix and match and do, and then fix it. But I can fix what he has written, right? Even though it is not making, but I want it. He has written something. He will tell me what he wants to say, and I will tell him how to write it correctly.
Okay.
That is you building your story. And you know what? Nobody will ever take the story away from you, Bello. You are going to use it every day because guess what? You went through this process and you and I fixed it. Trust me, there will be input from the rest of the class because that's what we expect. When I'm fixing something, it's not just me. You can say, could he have said this? If he said it, wouldn't it be better if he also added this? That is the participation. I will fix everybody in the class's own story. And you take this and you use it for the next 50 years. Trust me, you don't have to fix this again. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so fix it, or just write it. That's the key point. I can only fix what you have written. Is it going to be perfect? No, I like stories that are not fine, but I bet he wants to say something. And we're going to look for the best words and we're going to say it. That is him building his story. He wants us to talk about his final year seminar and project. We are going to put it there.
So should you talk about your previous job or I guess current job?
If there is something that we want to leverage from that job, Anita, yes, you are going to talk about it. As an accountant.
No, I'm not planning to talk about it. Should I?
I said you should, yes. Because when you want to talk about, you're paying attention to detail as a plus in your DBA career. I need you to know that you got it even from your previous career.
But you're already saying that my resume is not even going to have that information. So why am I talking about it?
It's going to have that you have a degree in accounting.
Okay.
You will even refer to how you work as an accountant and through some joint application design and so on, you got exposed to a technical staff after which you decided to go technical and became a DBA.
Okay, so follow-up question. Is my resume going to have any accounting background?
No.
As in,
no.
So why am I talking about it?
You are talking about it because it leverages, it buttresses the fact that you pay attention to detail.
I understand that, but I can say that I learned that from school. That's what I'm saying. Like it's
learn what from school?
I don't see why I have to be talking about.
Learn what from school? Learn paying attention to detail from school?
Yes, from projects in school.
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying, like I don't see how you can relate.
I do, but at the end of the day, is I will give it to you. But you don't want it, you trash it.
Anita has a lot to trash, man, sir.
I'm going to give it. Don't worry. When she puts it, I'm going to put my own and give it there, and then you have the ultimate yam and you trash it. It's okay. Let me explain something to you. Accountants in this school have best used their DBA skills. Best. And there was no accountant who has been through here, Mohammed, and I remember all of those people who are now working in their same jobs as accountants, but their portfolios totally has changed their job descriptions because they now know SQL, understand SQL, know report. But as a reporting accountant, an accountant, you will do, what is it, credit and debit. Or you're doing reporting. If you are doing reporting, it's all about the reports. You are going to write that report. You are going to report. You are going to tune those reports. And next time a developer, you are now dependent, solely dependent on the developer. And whatever the developer decides to run as that report, you're going to do it. But as an accountant, you can ask them to make this report more flexible. You know the data, you know what it is to tune data. If you do performance tuning as an accountant, they'll move your office next to your boss and pay you 2 times the DBA money.
Okay, I get it, Prof, but okay. So during the interview, right, the interviewer is going to have my resume, and apparently my resume is not going to have any background in accounting. But here I am talking about, well, I used to work in accounting, I did this and that.
Yes.
How is
Tell
that?
me about yourself. Your resume is DBA. Maybe there's a reference there to a certification or a degree in accounting. That's what it has, right? Nothing. But I am telling this guy that I pay attention in detail. In my past career as an accountant, paying attention to detail, that's how I will introduce paying attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
Paying attention was part and parcel of our job, where, as you know, you're talking to him because that's an accountant, where, as you know, missing a point or a comma can change your whole demographic, which means I have a culture of paying attention to detail. That is not learned from school, that is learned over time. It is an experience that you must have. If you have your a past degree in law, from my legal background, that's how I'm going to launch my conclusion. Communication has been and you start moving on. Because if you have a legal background and you cannot communicate, then maybe that was not the right thing for you. But I've seen everybody leverage that. And it is a good story to tell because you can build from that. And trust me, that is what your manager is trying to see. This person pays attention to detail. This person means that they dot their I's and cut their T's. This person is very good with communication. And they'll ask you, so tell me once you've been, whatever you've done, which I hear you just said you're legal. Oh, why did you leave law? Oh man, it wasn't really working for me, but you know, I made the decision to change my career, blah, 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 blah. And he says, so how do you use your communication to satisfy your team or to enhance your team? So yes, I'm normally selected as the scribe. I normally take, meetings, and I sometimes sit in for my boss when he's out. Because what? I can communicate, and I make sure I send the minutes out on the meetings. Every job needs that. There are small things, but you learn them from what? You're not talking about law. You are simply saying, with my legal background, I'm good at communication. With my accounting background, I pay attention to detail. With my communications background, blah, 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 blah. Documentation is something that is very big. Documentation. What's your best day on the job? Your best day on the job is not bad because you wrote you implemented a particular kind of technology. That's not, you followed steps. But what makes it your best day on the job? What makes you bring in your documentation skills, that you wrote foolproof documentation that your company decided to adopt and share for everybody else to use. One of my biggest strengths that I have is communication. Some way, somehow, I'm teaching, I'm communicating, and I hope I am communicating. But every day I will tell anybody anytime that I love communication. You know, what did my communication skills do? It actually made me, every time I went to, almost every job that I've been at, I've been the default training person. I train everybody when they come in new. Why? Because I can relate to it, I can communicate. Let's go back one step. You did data guide. It was so good, but you followed steps. But what is the extra thing you did? Because of your good documentation skills, you wrote the steps foolproof. And now your company adopted that and shared it company-wide. So that anybody who wants to configure DataGuard can use your foolproof documentation with screenshots. I tell you what gives people jobs. Sometimes this technology, everybody can come and say it. But now put things about you, specific things about you. That's where I'm going to. It's usually easier than you think. Okay. Anybody else? Question? Any other questions? But please, all I'm saying is spend some time with your soft skills. You start putting your whole interview together because your interview is a package. You have to build that package, beginning with this. This question comes, that's how I answer. This question comes, so you set yourself, you pull yourself around. You know this one or two things. You start, it's a mindset. If you think like a DBA, you're going to be a DBA. But you must start, how is work going? What do I do? What have I done? What can I do? How can I fix? How can I do this? And eventually you'll be okay. Any questions?
Prof, can I quickly read mine? And
what have you done? Have you added things there?
Just a little bit.
Okay, just give me 2 minutes.
Okay. So I'm Anita Tong, and I have about, oh, okay.
Anita, you muted?
He said he's going to make a call, right?
Oh.
I thought yours was pretty good, honestly. I don't know.
Prof said I'm mixing stuff.
Like I like your, like, I guess even your conclusion. I think that was good. A little long though, but you know.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Okay, right. Anita.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Okay, all right. So Anita Tonge. I have about 5 years in experience with Oracle databases. I hold a bachelor's degree in accounting as well as various IT certifications, which include OCA, AWS, and SQL Fundamental. I have worked on databases that were installed on 11G and 12C, mostly running on Windows and Windows AIX and Linux servers. I'm very comfortable with performing and managing backups. I can perform user manage and RMAN backups of full database, incremental, differential, and incremental cumulative to accommodate my company's service level agreement. I have also performed different types of recovery, such as full database, point-in-time recovery, and data file recovery for both critical and non-critical database files. In addition to backups and recovery, I've also been part of major projects which include upgrading databases from 11G to 12C softwares using DBUA and manually using scripts. I have also worked in applying patches to 11G and 12C databases using the OPatch utility. I have applied patches and also configured, actually I've configured DataGuard for disaster recovery. In order to ensure high availability and scalability, my team and I configure a real cluster application with 3 nodes. I'm very familiar with security as I have created password secured administrative profiles to restrict access of unprivileged users. And for advanced security, I configured transparent data encryption. I have also implemented auditing through policies where I use standard value-based and fine-grained auditing methods. I have extensive knowledge of database objects such as database links, tables, views, sequences, indexes, and synonyms. I'm constantly using performance tuning tools such as AWR, ASH, ADM, to name a few. I'm very proactive in everything I do, and I have excellent customer relation skills. I'm a great team player, fast learner, and I'm able to multitask and arrange my schedule to meet up with deadlines. I pay close attention to details, and I'm very fluent in French and English. During my free time, I enjoy going on hikes, knitting, and bowling with friends and family.
Okay, all right. So you are making it is going better than the first one. All right. It's going better than the first one. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't surprise me that she asked 100 questions, but you're seeing a marked improvement from where you were to where you are right now. Definitely better. Are there many things that I want to fix? Yes, but you've given me a base to fix. And most of the time I would say, don't put this here, put this. No, remove this from here and add it over there. Take this from here, put this, all of this together. Don't present it this way, you know? But that give me something to fix. If you don't give me anything, then there's nothing to fix. But that is improvement. I see yourself is in there, technology is in there, then we can keep going.
So how did you see her in a story?
How did I see her?
Yes, because Renata read hers and you said it was probably some, like you were saying, like it was probably you've approved that, and now you say
which one? The story that Renata read.
Yes, that's somehow
because she was saying things that I were not. I mean, you saw the work that she did. That work was not what she was reading, and she has accepted that.
So I'm just saying, like, how did you see Anita's in her story?
This is Anita's second read, right?
Yeah.
This is Anita's second read, so I'm comparing with the first one.
So question, how do I need to go more into details with the technical stuff, or like?
Do you need to go where?
More into details.
No,
like,
no, but they are not where they are. Some words are not where they are supposed to be. You are too shallow on performance tuning, which is the biggest aspect. We should be the biggest. You went a little bit too much on security, which I could retract a little bit. Remember, we are looking at that 2 minutes time, 2 minute, 30 seconds time frame.
Okay, but the length of it, is that what you're looking for?
No, I'm looking at why do you have to say this, and this, which is security, which I know does not carry as much weight as performance tuning.
I mean, okay, was that 2 minutes? Or was that less?
Nobody timed it. We're not on timing yet.
Okay.
We're not on timing yet.
My question is, should I be adding to develop it? Should I add more?
You should add and develop it and let it be 4 minutes. Then we can now shrink it down and remove the things. Put it there and let me see whether I can add or remove.
Okay.
Make it to be 4 minutes. It doesn't really matter. But it will say, retract, contract. But I'm seeing things. If you don't give it to me, I'll never know about you. But remember to answer that question, how did you become a DBA? There's a question there that says that asks that.
Should that be in the tell me about yourself or no?
Not necessarily, but I can introduce it when in my long version when I'm talking to the manager. Not
So like that's what Bello did, right? That's what Bello did in his
yes,
reading.
and I said I was going to fix it. We didn't say, well, you will remove it.
Okay.
We have not removed it. Did we remove it from Bello's work? No, but he introduced it. I didn't say that was wrong.
Yeah, in it panabiti.
Well, depends on what panabiti means. You should be writing your stories. You cannot sit and somebody is sitting now, folded their arms, wrapped in a blanket, and you're listening to other people work on their stories. And at some point, we wonder how this story came up. But you are seeing us developing it now because everybody else stayed mute. 4 of us took the show and 5 of us are now running with it. But if you don't build that story, you have not built your story. You have to build it, write it. You copy somebody else's story, you will struggle to read it. Watch how Bello reads his same story better tomorrow because he wrote it. You're going to fix it, you write it better. All right. Any questions? No questions? I'll see you on Wednesday then.
Okay.
All right, take care. And please work on these stories. It's the only way we can know this thing. All right.
Are we having a class on Friday?
I don't know yet, but I'll let you know by Wednesday. I have an exam. I think my DB1 is taking it. I just realized that, but I'll let you know. Do you want a class or no?
Are you asking to me? Are you asking to the class?
I'm asking to the class. You are part of the class, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Well, I want a class.
One person wants it.
No, I don't want the class.
Why, you overknow things?
No.
Then why don't you want it? Anita.
It's okay, we'll have it.
You guys, you never cease to amaze me. You don't want it, why? You may have it.
Well, it's Friday.
What's Friday? In
It's
COVID,
Friday.
there's no Friday.
There is one.
All right, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll talk about that.
All right, Prof.
All right. Good night.
Patrick.
Good night.
Patrick.
Yes, Jonathan.
Please, do you know if your group has a script for Prague?
I think we're still working on that. You mean the installation?
Everything, the installation, the configuration, everything.
But Patrick, were you guys video recording?
What, when, today?
Nah, when you were installing, I think that could help, right?
Actually, I don't know if we video it. I think some of us will video. I don't remember who did.
Yeah, we never got a full session. That's the thing. It's in parts. Got sometimes we stuck at troubleshooting. Sometimes, so there's not a full session.
But you guys we've completed the configuration.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if you went through the video or on the class thing.
That for hours video?
Yeah. Were you able to go through that video?
Probably the first 30 minutes, the first 25 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, that's not that.
I'll send you what I have if you can follow it. If you can help.
Okay, no problem. By the way, Patrick, there's the first SQL exam. I think it's on Thursday. It's in school. So whoever wants to go and help.
This coming Thursday?
Yeah, I think yeah, tomorrow or after tomorrow. It's in school. So anyone that wants to help, just let me know.
All right.
Okay. I will end the meeting. See you guys on Wednesday.
All right, thanks.
Mm-hmm.